Greetings, Seawolves. I'm Megan Olson, Vice Chancellor for University Advancement. I'm here today on campus with Bill Jacob, UAA's Interim Vice Chancellor for Administrative Services, to talk about shared services. UAA made a decision earlier this fall to move to a single shared services unit, and Bill's going to share with us some details about the unit itself as well as the process we're undertaking. Bill, what is shared services?
Shared services is a consolidation of repetitive activities, as well as ensuring that you're leveraging best practices to gain synergies. Shared services is a trend in higher ed, government agencies, as well as private sector for years. It's important that we deliver these services in an approach where we can leverage and gain economies of scale, as well as a reduction of costs from administration.
And why is UAA moving in this direction?
UAA is moving in this direction to create a shared service organization that is customer focused and to take all of these administrative tasks out of the units to allow them to focus on their core mission. As well as employees or staff will be enabled to have time off because we'll have backups and they'll have training and they'll have a career path. So there's a lot of important things we're doing for the UAA mission.
What types of activities will be included in the new shared services unit?
So initially, we're focused on the financial and administrative services associated, including procurement, human resources, and travel. There are centralization services already for some of those, but there's just too much administration still that the units do today. Our goal is to consolidate those to enable them to focus on their core mission.
How will employees be affected by the shared services project?
That's a great question. We've released an administrative questionnaire to those that have been determined to do the work in scope to determine how much of that work they're doing and whether they would be a candidate to be part of that shared services. Those folks that are doing a little bit of work, they're likely will stay within the unit, as well as their jobs might change a little bit to take that into the shared service organization to begin to do that work.
And those that are doing more than just a little work?
So those that are doing more, that are actually doing a lot of the scope, are likely candidates to be part of the shared service organization going forward.
Got it. So the questionnaire is key.
Yeah.
So what does the process look like, and how fast is it moving?
So that's a good question. We're working on a standard methodology. It's a three-phased approach. The first phase being planning, which is current state, which we've talked a lot about already. We're truly trying to understand the work associated to the scope of shared service to determine who, in fact, would be part of the shared service organization. The implementation starts in January with a truly created shared service organization with those members that actually are doing the scope and have been worked on with their particular units to have them be part of it. The final approach in implementation is actually where we do the standardization and successful customer service focus and deliver efficiencies to those processes. Finally, the ongoing state will take place in fiscal year 22 in July, starting in July, when we actually will be just doing continuous improvement.
So that's the operational phase.
That's it. We're not going to stop there. We're going to continue to be more and more efficient and work that.
Just one more question, Bill. Where can I find more information about the process, and where can I contribute my own feedback and ideas on the process?
As you know, I announced last week the creation of a website for the shared service project. There you can ask your questions and submit them to the organization of the team, and we'll respond as quickly as possible, or they'll show up in our FAQs, which are also available on the site. Another way of providing information is you'll see the core team will be on the website, and you can talk to them as far as who's your appropriate constituent, and they'll bring that to the task force.
Thanks, Bill, for a description of the process that you're leading and what the shared services unit is. There's more information to come, and we'll be providing some periodic updates to the campus as the process is undertaken.
Thank you, Megan, and Seawolf Nation. We're looking forward to continuing this process. The task force is working extremely hard to get your input and make this a successful project for the university.